Yo, what is up, everybody? Yeah, I'm going to be showing you guys a quick example of this build before I show you exactly what this kind of build can do to the Guardian here. There you go. So that's pretty much what you're going to be. It's just showing you kind of how good this build is. I'm going to get into the build now and show you guys exactly what I'm running to be able to do this. So first thing, of course, we're going to get into is the perks. I am going to let you know beforehand, I am a ghoul. So some people run human for like the food buffs and stuff, so it could be a little better, but this build all around is just good even without like having to do crazy amounts of like intense farming. The only thing that you're gonna have to farm though is Raider rep, but I do have a video up that you guys can use that you can get it literally maxed in like 3 hours right now. So all right, let's get into it. So on the strength side here, we're going to be running what's called bringing the big guns, or like bullet storm procs. So bringing the big guns is going to double that stack limit. So instead of 10, it's going to take it up to 20. With bullet storm, you're getting 9% damage per 30 ammo spent, up to 20 stacks because of the bringing big guns. Tightly wound to make the weapon spin up faster for heavy guns. Lock and load. So lock and load's pretty good. So you keep half of the bullet stacks when you reload, plus you get 1% reload speed per stack. So you're pretty much instantly reloading your gun. And instead of you losing all 20 of the stacks, you're only going from 20 to 10 stacks. Arms keeper, just for the weighing less. Perception. Okay, so perception, I am running number cruncher, so your weapons have 2% increased damage per AP cost. Your downranger, you do 15% range damage to far enemies. Tormentor, you deal 20% more damage per crippled limb that your target has. Tank killer is really important. Your ranged weapons ignore 40% armor. And then focus fire, of course, or concentrated fire to be able to target the limbs, and you do 3% more accuracy and damage per shot. And then the awareness, just for the increased VATS accuracy. The Tesla cannon, I will show you guys just how insanely accurate that gun is. So in endurance is pretty important. So as you just seen in the beginning of the video, how I was face tanking him, pretty much these are what you want to have to be able to fully face tank the Guardian. Life Giver, Ironclad, so you get 30% more. It's 15% on everything, but if you're wearing a matching set, it's double, so it's 30%. To be honest, you could probably run 2-star of this. I just don't have the legendary perk, on endurance fully maxed. So you could potentially even run this 3-star and have crazy amounts of bonus protection. Through hiker, because food and drink weights are reduced by 90%, because you're constantly running like food buffs and toxic goo, even just to get your glow up for an extra health bar, really helps. And then bullet shield, I'm running. Again, you can kind of play with the endurance a little bit, but you might Ironclad and Life Giver are pretty much a must-have. But bullet shield, you could maybe play around with, or you could even run 3-star bullet shield once you get the legendary perk maxed out. Charisma, again, the least important. You just want strange in numbers for the positive mutation effects being 25% stronger. That's really good for your mutations. And then Tenderizer, each attack makes your target take increased damage. Intelligence, you're spamming stim packs the entire time. You literally can't die as long as you are spamming those stim packs. First aid, you restore more HP based on your intellect. Power user, you're running power armor, so this is doubling your fusion core duration. And in case you didn't know, when you use VATS, it also increases, like, you use some of your fusion core. So power user is pretty much a must-have if you want to save a lot of your fusion core health. Stabilized, big guns gain 30% accuracy, doubled in power armor, so it's 60%. Demolition expert, I run demolition expert. I've seen some people not running it. I actually plan to uh, get this to 3-star. I just like that extra explosive damage with the Gauss minigun, especially. Science is a must-have. You do increased damage based on your intellect. So I'm running mutations, all kinds of things that are. I have like 30 intelligence right now, roughly, I think, with everything popped. So that is increasing my energy damage by a crap ton because I'm having that based on my intellect energy damage increase from the science. Batteries included. You're running a lot of energy weapon ammo, the 2mm and the fusion cells, the Tesla cannon, the 2mm electromagnetic cartridges for your Gauss minigun. So definitely run that. And then good with salt, just so your food in your inventory, aka your food buffs, spoil slower. Agility is a pretty big one. So a gunslinger, your ranged weapons do 12% weak spot damage, 1% weak spot damage per onslaught stack, max of 3 stacks for gunslinger expert. Guerrilla expert is plus 1% reload speed. You're pretty much instantly reloading once you have all your stacks with your Gauss. Faster reloading the better, pretty much, because you're just because of the lock and load when you're keeping your stacks. You're instantly reloading, getting those max onslaught or bullet storm stacks again even faster. Guerrilla master, 5% increased rage damage to close enemies per onslaught stack. So again, just more damage with those stacks there. And then adrenaline. I run adrenaline. I've seen some people running gun fu, action boy, like things. I like adrenaline because adrenaline lasts a very long time. Like you can go from like boss to boss in the raids or even like events, like 100% damage increase per kill. And I don't know what the duration is, but I've seen it like it could potentially be bugged. I've literally went from an event to another event and still had all 10 stacks, and I'm doing so much more damage. So I like the adrenaline. Luck is pretty important. So your VATS criticals now do 100% more damage. Criticals on this build are a major damage increase. One gun army, of course, because you're using heavy guns. You get 75% limb damage, which is crazy, plus a 12% stagger chance. Ricochet, gain a chance to deflect range attacks based on your luck. I have like 30 roughly luck, so I have a crap ton of increased chance to deflect. Blast Freak, the negative effects of your mutations reduced by 75%. Pretty much a must-have because of the mutations. Critical Savvy is a must-have as well. Your critical hits now only consume 55% of your critical meter. That is major because you're just constantly at that half and you're just instantly getting crits every like 2-3 shots. Multi-spots is a must-use if you are ghoul. It might be a little different. Again, this is a ghoul build. So this is like the only ghoul perk that I'm really mainly running right now. There is other ones you could do. Like there is glow ones that you can run. Let me just show you real quick. You'd have to play around with it a little bit. Oh, sorry, it's on intelligence. Here it is. Like Mad Scientist, your energy weapons expend a small amount of glow per attack for 20% extra damage. And then on Endurance, you can even run Radiation Power, which expends a small amount of glow per hit to deal 20% bonus damage. So I'm kind of running a survivability thing, but as you can see, you could get your damage even higher. If you wanted the glow instead of being an extra health bar, you can use it for damage. So I run Faulty Spots as the only ghoul perk that I'm currently running. Legendary perks. I have seen people running different ones. This is what I like to run currently. So again, legendary strength. You want to definitely run because you're running, heavy guns. You got to have that bullet storm. Legendary intelligence, fully maxed out. Agility, I want maxed out, and to get more additional agility points, you definitely want this to be 4-star as soon as possible. Luck, of course, immediately as possible. Taking one for the team. Enemies take 40% more damage when they attack you if you're on a team. This is pretty major because you're pretty much constantly, taking that most damage, which is increasing your 40% more damage they take when they're attacking you. Perception, I would like to also have fully maxed, but as you can see, I just have it 2-starred. I haven't been running it too much. But additional perception, I'm just going to show you, like, you could get one more. And instead of running, like, awareness, you could be running, where is it? There is another one you could be running. I can't remember off the top of my head, but again, you mean the better the merrier, you know. But I mean, Center Masochist would actually be pretty good for the robot. So you could, there's some things you could do. So you could get rid of awareness, run Center Masochist, and with the additional perception point that you would get, and you can even, if you had this maxed, sorry, I know I'm talking a little fast. If you got this maxed, you could put some of your perception points from your loadout into something else, like, for example, intelligence, and then you could just immediately be running, put those 2 extra points, and be running the mad scientist or really nerd, like anything really. You could even put nerd rage on there just because. But yeah, that's the legend perks we're running. Next thing that I want to move on to is the power armor. So the power armor, I am running the Vulcan set currently. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what this Vulcan set is. So the Vulcan set you get from Gleaming Depths, the raid. It took me probably about 3 days to fully farm the set, and that was running it back to back with very experienced players. So it is pretty difficult to get. It definitely is a bit of a grind. So the Vulcan set, right here, I'm running with the set bonus. You get all 6 pieces. You get 25% increased AP regeneration rate, and then you get plus 25% fusion core duration. So your fusion cores are lasting even longer, which is technically, again, increasing the amount that your fusion cores are lasting because you're using VATS so much that you're using your fusion cores consistently. So I'm running full troubleshooters on the gear because troubleshooters is pretty much just good overall. I mean, you could switch based on what you're doing, but if you're farming the raid, troubleshooters is pretty much what you pretty much what you have to have. You have to have troubleshooters if you're going to face tank and solo him and farm him consistently. So I'm running plus 2 luck on this. Sentinel, I think Sentinel could be changed. So I like on a few pieces, I just want to show you real quick. I am running right here. I'm running pretty much like Through Hiker, but it's a set little bot. One of the mods, it's food, drink, and chem weights reduced by 20%. So you could run that instead. But on some of these, I like the Sentinel. Minus 5% damage taken while not moving. Just makes you more tankier. The main thing that you want to have running to be able to... you cannot solo the robot if you do not have this. Reflective. The 4-star mod. Return 10% of damage received from an enemy target back towards them up to 50% on full stack. This is just broken overall. Like, this is pretty much... let me pull that back out. This is pretty much a must-run mod with power armor at any point because it works on range, it works on melee, literally anything. It even works in PvP. I tested it last night because I was curious, and he literally killed himself with his own gun. It's a little ridiculous. So yeah, Reflective is a must-have, and then I'm running the mod that you get from the raid on the Vulcan set, Core Assembly, on the torso, which gives me plus 6% more action point regen. I'm just constantly in VATS because of how much action point regen I have. The same thing, as you can see though, I'm running, instead of the luck, I'm running intelligence on here, which is giving me more increased energy damage. You can change accordingly. That's just what I'm running. Sentinel, and then I like running the elastic servos. There is a sprinting one. So on each of the legs, you can have increased sprinting or you can have increased jump height. So right here on both legs, I have 50% extended power jump height. I'll show you how high I'm jumping. I'm literally able to pretty much almost jump on top of my roof. And this is without the positive mutations when in a team and everything. Like, the jump height is crazy. So, moving on to the other leg, exact same thing. I'm actually running 5% action point regeneration mod on this. I probably would switch this to intelligence, so you can kind of ignore me having this. Maybe run intelligence instead for more energy damage or even luck. Oh. On this one, I'm running plus 2 luck. The food and drink chem weights reduced, and then I'm running gimbal bracers. So it is another mod that you get from the raid. I get plus 15% hipfire accuracy and plus 15% scoped accuracy. This is really nice to have. on the arms. And then same thing, I'm running luck, drink weight, of course reflective, and then the same gimbal bracers mod on here. And then I got the Vulcan helmet, which completes the set. No mods for it or anything. I'm not sure what potential mods you can get, but I assume it's like maybe some drink underwater stuff or something. But yeah. All right. Moving on to the weapons. So I have 2 different weapons. I've compared the 2, and I like stick to it, man. I swear the 2-shot is like better for the robot specifically. Like, I think Furious is better for the Serpent if you're going to use the Gauss minigun on it, but the 2-shot I've compared the 2 is more like consistent on the robot for damage. So I'm running 2-shot projectile on the blind player's RL because this gun literally makes you blind. 25% weapon speed, plus 3 intelligence, which is giving it more energy damage, and then I'm running Pinpointer, which is the legendary 4-star mod. It increases 20% damage to weak points. This is a must run. This is the best one that I've seen consistently. And because it's a Gauss minigun, all the bullets explode. I have seen people running the 20% like explosion one, 2-star mod instead of weapon speed, but I just like the weapon speed personally. I think it could go both ways. So mod wise, I'm running Pentabarrel, Tesla Coil Capacitor. These are the 2 best ones that you must be running. The Pentabarrel makes it fire faster, but it reduces from 500 capacity to 400. It's perfectly fine. And the Tesla Coil Capacitor literally makes it into a, like, pretty much adds additional projectiles that it's shooting. I'd have to play around and kind of see, but I'm pretty sure Tesla Coil Capacitor is the best one. And then I'm just going to show you my other Gauss minigun. So this one's a little different, but I need to really fully mod it out. But as you can see, I'm running Furious, weapon speed. I need to get rid of the strength and switch it to intelligence, but you get the gist. It's pretty much just at Furious instead. And then you still want pinpointers on it, etc. All right, the Tesla Cannon. This gun is insanely good for events. Anything really, like even killing the Serpent, this thing is insanely good. Like, it is really broken right now. I don't know why it hasn't been nerfed. So I'm running Furious on it. 50% critical damage. So you are constantly critting with this thing because it has such low AP cost. It's 12 with the right mods. Again, the Raiders rep is how you get this and all the mods for it. So go watch my previous video to see how you get the Raiders rep max. I'm running 35% action point cost reduction as the 3-star, and then pinpointers again. 20% damage to weak points. So if you're hitting any weak point head, most likely you're doing that additional damage. And then I have decreased action point cost with one of the mods. I'm pretty sure it's I'd have to check. And then I'm running the mod, which is Nikolai's series, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm sorry, direct current muzzle. And it's causing my targets to have 20% reduced damage resistance for 6 seconds. So you shoot once, and then the next shots after that, you got that 20% damage resistance reduction. It is insanely good. So right here is the mods I'm running. I'm running Solid State Series 3, Nikolai Series 2, Huge Ampacity, which increases the capacity to 120. And then I'm running direct current muzzle for that damage resistance. So next thing I want to talk about is pretty much what I'm consistently popping. I don't have any food buffs currently I can show you. There is some other videos. But I run bobblehead big guns. Psycho buffs, constantly popping these. I'm literally like constantly addicted. I have to clear it. And then I'm popping 2 canned coffees at the same time, which is giving me an insane amount of AP reduction. I'll show you guys just pretty much the examples of... I missed 3 times with the 70%. That's crazy. Twice, I mean. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, this thing is just insanely accurate. Does insane amounts of damage, and it's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's my build, guys. I just want to say, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have any other questions or maybe some advice, feel free to post them in the comments. But let me show you my special before I go. This is without anything being popped. Strength is at 20, perception 17, 7 endurance, 18 intelligence, 14 agility, 20 luck. Again, the intelligence should be higher, but I don't have the legendary perks maxed out and everything. So, all right, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have a good day. And, yeah, I hope to see you guys out there in the 76 world. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.